Cancer and Gemini sexual and intimacy compatibility. Gemini would go outside and have the weirdest sexual experiences, and Cancer would stay at home and wait for the night to be loved by their tender partner. This is not always the case, of course, but it is very rare for a Gemini partner to manage to relax their Cancer and make them join their sexual adventure. Still, there is a link between them, pretty strong for that matter. Cancer continues the sign of Gemini, and in a way their nature is a consequence of endless conversations and rational explanations. If Gemini partner has enough patience to talk to their partner about same things over and over, in time they could build enough intimacy to have a good sex life. In order for this scenario to develop, Cancer needs to talk, too. It will not be enough to say a sentence or two and expect that their Gemini will understand how they feel. If they manage to communicate, Cancer could actually wake the depth of their Gemini, giving them enough support to express their more emotional sexual personality. If they want their relationship to work, their sex life needs to be somewhere in the middle, intimate enough and exciting enough for both partners to be satisfied. 5%. Cancer and Gemini trust. Gemini is a sign ruled by Mercury, our little trickster. It is not easy to trust a Gemini partner, especially if one is trying to take away their freedom. As a rational sign, they usually find no reason to lie or cheat on their partner, for as long as they don't feel threatened by intimacy they are not ready for, or tied down. The major task of Cancer in a relationship with Gemini is to let them be free. If they start living together, Gemini will have to stay out of their love nest and Cancer will spend a lot of time alone. This is a challenge, but both signs can have enough dedication to their personal values, and these partners should know better than to ruin their relationship with trivial lies. 25%. Cancer and Gemini communication and intellect. There is probably not a single sign in the zodiac that Gemini couldn't talk to, so their communication skills mark this category a bit higher in every case. In their relation to a Cancer partner, they usually feel the need to open up a bit more and share things that they wouldn't with other people. There is a certain motherly glow around Cancer, male or female, that gives Gemini enough room to set their inner child free. This can actually be a wonderful relationship that lasts much longer than other Gemini relationships, because there is usually enough understanding in Cancer for their childlike partner. That is, if other aspects of the relationship are satisfying enough. It is safe to say that Cancer and Gemini make good friends, and this could give a push in the right direction toward their emotional and sexual understanding as well. 70%. Cancer and Gemini emotions. The main negative possibility here would be in the fact that Gemini doesn't always listen. It is often said that Gemini is a superficial sign, but in fact, they like to stay afloat and keep away from difficult conversations because of their need to move forward. Cancer can try to share their emotions too often for Gemini to have enough patience to understand them, and this can be devastating for their emotional relationship. On the other hand, Gemini doesn't really show emotions in a way that Cancer will easily recognize. It is a good thing they are capable of finding emotion in anything and anyone, so they might have a chance to understand the emotional nature of their childish Gemini. 10%. Cancer and Gemini values. They have completely different systems in which they value things in life. While Gemini is a rational sign, giving value to all that comes out of their mind, Cancer is an emotional guru, giving value to things their heart beats for. When it comes to relationships, they are probably the most vulnerable to differences in this category, for differences here make their primary goals different. Although they will both be motivated to find love, the way their partner acts in a relationship could be considered wrong due to its opposite nature from what each of them values. 1%. Cancer and Gemini shared activities. Activities Gemini and Cancer could share mainly depend on the energy level of Cancer partner. If they have enough of it to follow Gemini's chaotic schedule, they could find a lot of enjoyable things to do together. Cancer is a sign that exalts Jupiter, and its representatives like to travel, as much as they like to feel at home due to the sign itself. Although Gemini partner doesn't really have to go that far, they could find middle ground in traveling to places they both want to visit. However, the main characteristic of Gemini is their curiosity. It will lead them in all directions. They will feel the need to try everything and find more new, exciting experiences to share with someone. Unfortunately, Cancer doesn't really enjoy this that much. While the relationship is new, it will all seem exciting and breathtaking. As time passes, Cancer will want to settle down, imagining them buying furniture together and raising children. It is not easy for them to accept that this nature Gemini has isn't something that will be different tomorrow. There is no settling down with a Gemini partner. This is just not their mission in life. 15%. Summary. Gemini and Cancer are next to each other in the zodiac, and they are likely to be next to each other in friendship. When it comes to emotional or sexual relationships, there seems to be too many things that set them apart. In order for their relationship to last, they both need to make some adjustments. Gemini will hardly ever change their routine for someone, especially when they find someone's way of life boring, so the best thing to do here is to give them their freedom. If Cancer falls in love deeply enough, they will understand what their Gemini partner needs, and won't hold them back even if they wished for them to be different. Gemini partner has to open their heart and listen to those few words that Cancer wants to share. Even though they can speak about many things, when it comes to discussions of their relationship, their views on it are different. Gemini needs to keep it interesting and Cancer needs to be heard, as much as felt. If they give each other enough freedom and understanding, they could be like children in love for the first time. 21%.